everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going wonderful. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we're making a shaped card and I'm using the Simon Says stamp. This is the Big Bus die set. It's big. It will fit in the A2 envelope, so I thought we would make a shaped card today with this. And then for my greeting, I'm going to be using some of my reverse back to school sentiment strips. And for my background, we're going to be using a stencil called Simple Stars. So let's jump in and get started. First, we're going to do some die cutting. To make my shaped card, I have, this is 11 by 4 1/4 inch piece of cardstock, and I'm going to score this at the 5 1/2 inch mark. Just basically, we're creating an A2 size card base with colored cardstock, and then I'll take the large bus, and I want my card to open this way. What this is going to do is leave a fold line right here, but my bus is going to be missing some parts. So I'll take another piece of cardstock and then I will die cut out a whole bus here. So I'll do that with my yellow cardstock. This is Spellbinders Beeswax. And then I'll cut out some windows and tires and I'll be right back. Now I have everything die cut out, and I do want to say three things actually, lots of things actually. I'm going to, there was one die that will cut out the bus door. You need 2 sets of those, so that's what I did with white cardstock. And then as far as the windows on the bus, there's one that is more square shaped. I cut out 2 of those for an extra window. And then as far as my tires go, I cut out 4 tires, 2 whites, 2 blacks, and we're going to mix and match them. Okay, I am going to do ink blending on a few of these, but before we do that, I want to bring in some of my Lunar paste. That's where our stencil will come in, the Simple Stars. I thought we would add some stars to our bus here. I think that's a good spot. And this is slippery when wet, so it's a nice golden color. I thought it would go really good with our bus. And so we're just going to add a little bit of texture to our card. And I'm doing it not on our folded card, but the very front piece. While this dries, I'm going to clean off my stencil and my palette knife, and I'll wait for this to dry before we continue. Now my solar paste is nice and dry, and I love that shine. I think that's going to be nice and playful. Okay, I'm bringing in my grit mat and we're going to do some ink blending on here. I'm giving my oxide inks some love. I have actually 3 of them. I have Lumberjack, Plaid, Wild Honey, and Tumbled Glass. We're going to add Wild Honey to the very bottom of our bus, maybe the top 2, and we'll kind of fade in. So we will just grab some ink. So that will be our bus. Let's go ahead and adhere that to the front here. For the windows, we're going to use our Tumbled Glass. Let me grab my brush here. And then we are going to add some pale blue to one side of the window. Tumbled Glass is very light, but just adding this is going to make it, I think, look a little bit more like glass. So those are my windows. Before I take them off my grit mat, I'm going to use the grid lines on my grit mat and arrange them how they're going to be on the bus. Let me show you. Because I know I won't be able to get a straight line on my own, so the grit mat's going to help. So let's line these up. Definitely need to scoot this one over a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to use some low tack tape and I'm going to tape them together, and then I will lift them up all at once. There we go. So I know these are perfectly positioned, and we can put them on our bus here. And then I'll do the same thing with our bus door. It's easier to use the lines on the grit mat than trying to freehand it directly on the bus. And I think that arrangement will work great. So I'll use some low tack tape, and I will just cover the top, and then my bus door is ready to go also. And then we have this window that we really don't need to worry about. Okay, I am going to ink blend one more thing. I have my stop sign. That's where our lumberjack plaid will come in. I don't know if this will show up, but we're going to give it a try. Yeah, it shows up a little bit. There we go. Just on one side. Now we're ready to put this bus together. I'm going to flip over my windows. We're going to add some glue behind here. Actually, should we pop it up with some foam tape? No. We're going to add some glue here. Okay. And then we can add our windows. And then we can add a little glue here behind our bus door. So far so good. Now before I remove my low tack tape, we're going to let that glue set on here. In the meantime, we can work on our tires. And I mentioned we have two sets here. We're going to mix and match. I'm going to add a white rim to the black here, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to bring back some low tack tape. I'm going to tape it together so it's not going to go anywhere. And those are our tires. I'm going to bring in some small foam squares, and we're going to go around the rim and seal all of these together. We're going to add foam tape right over all three of, we'll do 4 times here. We're going to add foam tape over all 3 die cut pieces. This is going to help secure it inside. And then we can remove the release paper here. And then we can add our wheels. Okay, and then we can remove our tape. Lovely. I'm actually going to remove the tape to our windows too. I think the glue has set. Now we're going to add our stop sign. I think that's a good spot. And then we have some detail pieces like the lights and the bumpers. Let's go ahead and add some glue here. And then we can these fit just like a puzzle piece on the front and the back. And add the light here. I think this is a great first day of school card. Okay, let's bring in our greeting. I'm using, again, the back to school sentiment strips here. And I love the font on here. The font is very playful. Let me show you. And I'm going to trim out "Have an awesome day at school" and "Teachers rule." So I have both my greetings, and we are going to place some kind of wonky on our school bus here. And then I'm going to bring in some gold stars. These were left over from a Simon Says Stamp card kit. And we're going to add some extra gold stars in our background. So now we have a little extra sparkle in there. And then I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to bring in my glossy accents. And then I'm going to go over my tire. We're going to add a little shine to the center of the tires here. I'm going to go over the headlight too, and then the tail light. And that finishes off my card today. A super fun back to school teacher card. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.